So growing up, figure skating, just became my passion. And I grew to love the sport so much. My senior year of high school, I was getting ready to go to college and wanted to be a normal person. So I went to Wisconsin, Madison, and went to school there and just became a normal person. And after about 2 months, I was struggling with identity, and I was struggling with what was making me happy, and realized that skating made me happy. So I called my mom and said, I need my car, I need my skates, and I need to find myself again. So I got into skating again at college, and after a couple of years of just skating and whatnot, I got a phone call from my former coach, who said, let's have a talk and let's have a meeting. And we had a dinner, and she was moving out of town, and there was a position for a figure skating coach in the Appleton area. And again, just kind of still trying to find my way in college. I couldn't really see where I wanted to be in the rest of my life. I was a figure skater all my life, and seeing a normal world, I was just struggling to figure out what I really wanted to do and what was my passion. And I thought, well, what an opportunity to do my passion and make a living out of it and make a career out of it. So I moved back to Appleton and started teaching and never turned back. It was the best day of my life, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of ups and downs, but absolutely love doing this job. And it's not even a job, it's a career, it's a passion, it's a joy. It makes getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and on road trips and whatnot so worth it. Seeing the kids smile, it's my passion. As a figure skating coach, I started up as a figure skating coach, and I did a lot of figure skating and then dabbled in the hockey world. And it was just a dabble here, dabble there, and some kids were having success with it. And then I started working into a little bit more and a little bit more, and it kind of snowballed around 2015-ish. And started having the success, but there was still some doubters. Being never a hockey player, I never knew the sport, but I tried to learn the sport. I tried to watch the sport. And with that became me trying to convince people that I knew what I was talking about. As a figure skater, we know edges, we know control, we know body control, we know how to work our edges to make things happen on the ice. And the hockey players never really saw that skill. They just saw us twirling and spinning around in the air, and never really saw what we could really do on the ice. So being a figure skater, being a female, I had 2 obstacles to overcome. And it was a constant battle of trying to convince them that I knew that this way was better and that I could get better. Even today, I still struggle with hockey coaches struggling with me teaching them hockey skills versus a figure skating skill. Growing up, I don't think I ever really knew I was being pushed down until recently, until I really stepped back and thought about it. It was an eye-opening experience and how much I was pushed down. And I'm so used to just putting my head down and doing my job. And if you didn't like what I did, moving on. That's your fault, not my fault. And I don't think I ever sat back and really recognized how much I was not appreciated for my skills as a female, as a figure skating coach. In the hockey world. And seeing the kids have success, it was a validation, but I never really felt it inside of me. And then when this accolades came up and this a big accomplishment of being the first female coach in the hockey world, it truly was a opportunity for me to recognize that, yeah, I was pushed down, but now here's an opportunity for make sure no one else could have to go through that. To find out that I was the first female coach, I was totally shocked, totally surprised. I was overwhelmed. I couldn't believe it. Living in Minnesota for the last couple of years, I have seen so many colleagues of mine teach skating and teach skating hockey players. I'm just one of a million in this country. So for me to get that first female coaching job in the USHL is truly an honor. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to work with these young, talented kids. These boys are amazing. They're trying to become the elite athletes, and they're trying to take their sport into the next level, and they're relying on me to help them. To be a female in this sport, it is a little bit new. I mean, just the logistics of the travel and whatnot with all men is a little bit odd. But it's been really exciting to show the other world of females, of the caring side, so to speak, the mother hen. But it's also opening the doors for other friends of mine that are putting in the time in and day out, that they can be the next one, because I'm the first and I will never be the last. There's going to be so many more, and it's so exciting to see the recognition for females in the sport, to show them that we can really take this to another level and help those clients and those hockey players to become better. My first pair of skates was really honestly where it started. It started my life, it started my career, and I don't think, looking back on it, even as I was growing up, that it would become such a part of my life. And you know, there was parts of my life where I wanted to get rid of it. It disappointed me, just like anything. Life is not always roses, but it has brought me so much overwhelming joy and so many wonderful people. The figure skating sport, the hockey sports, whatever, there's some amazing close-knit people that are there for me. So my first pair of skates was where it started, my life, so to speak. And I wore them, and my parents are just such a big part of that. They brought me to the rink to provide the opportunities for my life, for my career, for my passion. And so these skates represent the start of it all. So my first figure skating dress, it was my first competition. We practiced hours upon hours for it, and I got 2 first place medals, and I was hooked. I was hooked on the sport. I was hooked on the excitement. And then it led into this career of teaching young players and young skaters the sport of figure skating and hockey.